Hey, what's up, and welcome back to One Piece. This is episode 674 onwards for 4 episodes. We're doing 4 episodes today, so 674, 75, 76, and 77, I guess. Yeah, this is exciting. I'm excited to jump into what we're doing today because it was just a couple days ago that I recorded the One Piece 3D2Y special reaction, which when you're watching this, it should be up, right? It should already be up by the time you're watching this. So yeah, like, it doesn't matter if you watch on Patreon or YouTube or whatever, it should be up in whatever you're watching it on. So if you haven't seen that reaction, go check it out. And I did enjoy it. I had a great time with it, but at the same time, while I was watching it, I was like, man, I want to get back to the Dressrosa episodes. Like, I was watching it going like, this is cool, but I actually want to progress the story now. I want to get back into the juicy One Piece stuff. But it also has felt like not much time at all since I watched One Piece, even though it has been, you know, it has been a little longer than it normally is for me. Except for 3D2Y. So I'm excited to jump into this. I can't remember exactly what we were doing. Oh yeah. Okay, so Robin turned into a toy. That's right. I'm looking at my notes if you didn't realize. Robin turned into a toy. So I remember that happening. Kinemon's in disguise. That's right. And I also remembered, like, we got the reveal about Kairos and stuff, and then we also, like, we're sort of doing a face-off with Sugar and, what's the other guy's name? Sugar and Treble. That's what his name is. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. I'm excited. I will say at the top of this that I realized something today. Okay, so I kind of go on, like, arc lengths. Like, I don't look heavily into the arc lengths normally, but if I see it, I see it. And generally when I go onto Crunchyroll and you, like, click on the arc name or whatever, and you, like, you know, you click on the arc name to go to the episode that you need to go to, it'll say, like, One Piece Dressrosa arc, and then the amount of episodes that the arc is, and, like, what episode it goes up to, right? So I saw that Dressrosa was a certain amount of episodes, and I went, okay, that's how many episodes it is, great. And it went up to a certain episode number. And so I think I was under the assumption that that's how long the arc was. You know, Dressrosa was this long. So when I watched 3D2Y, I watched it, and then I had to go and switch back to find the episode, and I hovered over the Dressrosa arc, and it was like, Dressrosa arc, episode 700 to something, right? And I went, episode 700? I'm not on 700 yet, but this is the Dressrosa arc. And then I scrolled up, and the one before it is also called the Dressrosa arc. So there's 2 Dressrosa arcs on Crunchyroll that are split up by, like, something in the middle. So the arc is actually significantly longer than I thought it was. So I would like to apologize, because this means that I technically was false advertising, but I promise you it wasn't deceptive. I wasn't trying to deceive anyone. It was purely, I didn't know. I had been saying in videos like, oh, you know, if you join my Patreon account, you'll get full-length reactions and early access, which means you get the next 20 or so episodes on there right now, which means what I've been saying is, on my Patreon, by the time you're watching this on YouTube, we're probably wrapping up the Dressrosa arc on there. Nope. No. We will not be wrapping up the Dressrosa arc if it is truly as long as I think I saw it was on the on Crunchyroll. So I apologize for saying that, because no, I'm not that far ahead. And so if I got any, I mean, I doubt I got any people who were like, oh really, wow, they're that far ahead, and then jumped on. But if that did happen, I truly apologize, because I did not mean for that to happen. But yeah, that's kind of crazy that they split it up into 2 separate things. I think it's because there was stuff in the middle there. There was, I didn't even see what it was, but there was like 1 or 2 little things in the middle that were like special episodes or whatever. And I guess they came out in that time. But then it was like, it came out mid-arc, but they had to split it up, so they just called them both Dressrosa. It's just, yeah, I didn't know. Anyway, I figured it out. eventually. But if you thought that it sounded like I thought the arc was coming to an end soon, and you're like, oh wow, you're like, you know, you're predicting stuff that's gonna happen much faster than it actually will happen. That's why, because I really thought that the arc was actually, you know, 20 episodes or so away from finishing, but it's not. So yeah. Anyway, let's jump into the episode. Make sure to support the video if you can. I'm a small channel, so it really helps me out. I already did my Patreon advertising by telling you how wrong I did it, so I don't need to do that again. But you can join my YouTube membership down below as well to get 1 week early on edited videos. And if you're 1 week early, that means we're finishing up the Dressrosa arc on there. But I'm kidding. But it's 1 week early, so it's like 2 extra videos on there. That's like 7 episodes of One Piece. You can join down below. Anyway, here we go. Jumping into One Piece. This is episode 674 of One Piece. Woo! Okay, recap Rubik's. If you're new to this channel, this is the recap Rubik's Cube. It's a Rubik's Cube that I do while the recap is going on, and my goal is to beat the recap. And that's the cube complete. Okay, this episode is gonna be called Getting Forgotten. Robin becomes a toy. I don't know. I mean, she already became a toy, but like maybe they'll explore it in this episode. I don't know. Oh no. Yes, you have. And she immediately remembers that that's the case. I feel like... Aww. Oh, she's panicking. We don't hear that from Robin very often. Unless there's an admiral around. Oh! Oh! Yes. Murder them all. Oh my god. He's even thinking Usoland. I guess that's a good thing to do, to make sure you're like properly in the, you know, you don't accidentally blurt out Usopp. It's so useful having her here. And he wouldn't even be thinking Usopp and Robin are there, because he would have forgotten about Robin. I hate that she knows the plan now. Oh, Usopp. And we're gonna succeed at it. Oh, even these toys are believing in Usopp. They're saying Usoland. Come on, he's gonna come back now. I know he can't hear this, but he should feel their spirits. Oh, the chanting. Usolando. Usolando. Oh. He heard it and he felt it. Come on, Usopp, you gotta go back. Oh my god, the fucking laugh is so annoying. Okay, it's a good joke. It's so annoying, but it is funny. Oh man. It's like the legend of Usoland is like going around the factory, inspiring people. Usopp, what would Luffy think if he saw you now? And they're like gullible enough that it'd probably be easy to break their spirits. Oh man. But he's a liar. I mean, this is all true. This is what happened. This is very sad. Like, Usopp really fucked these people over. Oh, and Leo's standing up though. Oh. It's funny the idea of saying like Usoland doesn't lie when Uso means lie. Liar man would never tell a lie. Yeah, hard to leave like that, huh? Oh, he's still doing it though. He's still running. Man. I mean, Usopp's kept running through a lot of this. Like, I'm surprised he didn't turn back ages ago. Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez. Pikia. Fucked up to make fun of the death sound. Oh my god. So this is just our way of hearing when each of them die? I mean, I don't know if they're actually dying, but at least getting knocked out and in a lot of pain. Oh my god, you're just like, it's like a fucking Edgar Allan Poe story where you're like haunted by the sounds. I mean, Sugar's given a look like maybe she's not cool with this. They heard that. Oh, he's here. Oh. Well, you gotta prove him right now. Oh, poor guys. Soge King. Oh. Oh. Well, there you go. It wasn't a death sound because Leia's alive. Oh. I mean, heroes share their meals, right? That's the main difference. He can still save you. I'm so interested in what Sugar thinks of all of this, because she's so hard to read. Oh. Is he gonna try to shoot something into Sugar's mouth? I mean, I'd like if you took out fucking... What's his name first? Why do I always forget his name? Trebol. He very well might. I mean, I think he will. Okay. You're doing the green star first. Oh! Awesome! That's pretty sick. I mean... I'm sure he's fine, you know? He can stick himself back together. They're too used to it. Alright, that was a good episode, although, you know, it's one of those episodes where it's like, it's a good episode, but it also, you know, it could have been 5 minutes. You know, like 5 minutes of that content. I mean, I imagine that was like one chapter or maybe even like half a chapter of the manga. But still good. I mean, it's a good situation. It's a good scenario. It makes Usopp look like worse and worse the longer the episode goes on, because it shows him running for so long. And I mean, I guess it depends how you want Usopp to come across, like how badly you want him to come across. But I mean, this is definitely a darker moment of Usopp's story, because I actually got a comment pretty recently, actually, from someone, and I mean, shout out to you if this is your comment. It was on one of my older videos, like way older videos, where they were talking about like how I mentioned Usopp's lies being mostly like sort of harmless lies, like he doesn't really lie to hurt other people. And I think someone said, like, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on Usopp lies going forward, because there are some that can actually be harmful. And I think this is a good example of a lie that, like, it could have been helpful, but he actually, like, he couldn't stand up to his own lies, so it ended up being very harmful, you know? And I just find this very interesting. I mean, like, because there's, like, a point where the lie becomes like a real problem, you know? Like, initially the lie is great because he's saying, yeah, I'm Usoland, but he's doing it, one, to survive, because it seemed like they were gonna kill him and Robin if he didn't say that he was a legendary hero or whatever. So like a lie, it's firstly a lie to survive, but then after that it's also like a lie to give these people hope, you know, and to like lead them into battle and like make them think that they can fight their hardest, because no matter what, they've got a legendary hero behind them. And so like when it's like that, it's great. But then the problem is, like, they've put their faith in you. So then, like, if you don't stand up to that, you're actually like kind of torturing them in these final moments, like moments where they were like on the ground dying, and they were finding out that everything they thought was a lie, and it was horrible, you know? I find it very interesting because I play a character in D&D. I play, you know, I've talked about my D&D characters a lot on this channel and on my main channel, because I play a lot of D&D and I love D&D, and I think it's a great way to flex character skills as well, like try to learn how to develop characters. And normally I use this chance to advertise a YouTube channel called Dice Revolution, where my friends and I stream ourselves playing Dungeons and Dragons. But this character that I'm about to talk about isn't on that YouTube channel. It's actually just for a casual game that we play. So, you know, you can't find it on there. But I play a character in a Curse of Strahd campaign. For people who like D&D, you'll probably know what that is. But it's basically like a vampire campaign, right? Where the main villain is a vampire who rules over this land called Strahd. And the character that I created for it was a character that I call Brit Slybo. And she is a character who has like a past that she doesn't like people to know very much. And so she doesn't like when people know too much about her. And she found out sort of from a young age that it's much easier to not be picked on. It's much easier to get what you want if you just lie about everything. If like basically everything you say is a lie in some way, or you sprinkle lies into everything. If you get good enough at it, you can kind of do what you want. And also you don't have to suffer the pain. Because like if someone's making fun of a version of yourself that you were lying about, they're not really making fun of you, so it's a much safer place to lie. And so the character's name is Brit Slybo because her the initials are BS, right? It's literally bullshit. And that's not her actual name, it's the name that she goes by. She has a real name, but obviously she lies about it. I don't even think I've revealed to the players I play with what her real name is. But what I have revealed to them is that she was a half-orc that was turned into a human by her patron. And she hates half-orcs because she had like a lot of internal hatred because people made fun of her and made fun of other orcs and half-orcs and all of that. And so she had a lot of internal hatred. So she lied about who she was and lied about herself being actually a human and like separated herself from that. Anyway, the reason I'm saying all of this is to set up this idea of this character that lies all the time, which I do get like little bits of inspiration from Usopp, but I feel like I don't take much from the way Usopp does things, because I feel like very different characters when it comes down to it. But a lot of the time what it does come down to is both my D&D character, Britt, and this Usopp guy, I don't know why I called him that, and Usopp, they both lie out of fear. And that's like a big thing. And I think that's a big place where lies come from, is like this deep primal fear. I've seen criticisms of Usopp's character be that he, in a lot of different arcs, he will go through the same sort of character development, which is he starts the arc, you know, like it starts, we're excited to see all the new stuff, and then like once all the dangerous stuff starts popping up, he becomes a coward, and then like once it gets really dangerous, he becomes like an ultra coward and runs away from it, and then you know, he'll step up and he'll get over it and he'll become brave again, and then he'll fight for what he believes in or whatever, and then the next arc you start that cycle over again. And it's like that's the cycle of Usopp, right? And I do think, like, I understand why people say that. I mean, from a storytelling perspective, you want the character to be doing new things, you want them to be going through new stuff, and also like it might make it feel like the previous character development didn't happen because he already got over his fears, you know? Why is he still having them? And so I don't think that's a bad criticism of Usopp's character. I don't. But what I will say is I think fear is a particularly interesting one, because I think fear isn't that simple. I think like getting over a fear or some fears in a moment, in a point in time, doesn't mean you are no longer fearful. And fear is I think a very difficult thing to overcome and like be able to deal with properly and stuff. And the thing is, the Straw Hats are going deeper and deeper into danger. Like, he overcomes his fears, and then the next time he has to overcome bigger fears, scarier fears, you know? Like, I mean, think, it's like saying, like, you know, you're a high jumper. Now, I don't know what numbers are for high jump. Like, when I say, you know, you can jump a certain amount, I don't know what Olympic numbers are. I don't know what is considered a good jump. So don't worry about the values here. But let's say, you know, you do high jump, you can jump a meter and a half, you know, and it's like, okay, you can jump a meter and a half. Then someone puts a stick up at 1.7 meters, right? And it's like, you need to jump over that. And then they fail it, and they fail it, and they fail it. And then one day they figure it out. They figure out how to improve their jump. They've also been training. They got way better, and they jump over it. 1.7 meters. They've jumped over it. They've vaulted over it. It's amazing. It's great. And you've gone, yes, you figured it out. You know the techniques for jumping. Here you go. Here's a 2-meter high jump. And then when they jump and they knock over the bar and they don't make it, you go, but you did. Why didn't you figure it out? Like, didn't you figure out how to jump higher? And it's like, well, I figured out how to jump the 1.7. Like, that was what I was training for. Now you've put the bar even higher, and I have to do it again. So, yes, I do have to train again. I have to get stronger. I have to figure out better techniques. And then, yes, I can vault over the 2-meter one. And then it's like, well, here's the 2.2 meter high thing. And it's like, well, now I have to train all again and do it all again, you know? And it is a cycle, but you're constantly moving up. That's what I feel like Usopp's character is doing. Now, it doesn't mean that criticism of Usopp's character is invalid, because I think people are talking from a storytelling perspective. Maybe it's not immensely satisfying. But I do think, like, if there's any sort of character development that you can repeat, I think fear is one that you can. I think it's difficult to accept that one day, or that, like, you know, on one of these arcs, Usopp is going to get over fear, and then he's over the idea of fear itself, you know? I mean, he's a very fearful person at his core. And then I also think like just a big part of it is also that like Oda knows that he didn't give Usopp a distinctive like strong goal, you know, like he wants to become like a brave, strong warrior, right? That's his goal. And that's a very vague goal. So I think that makes it more difficult for Oda to be able to work with that. Like when you give Usopp, not Usopp, the one with the straw hat, Luffy, if you give Luffy the goal of I'm going to become king of the pirates, we will basically know exactly when that's happened. It's a finite goal and it's way down the end of the path. And you have to do a bunch of little other things to get there and like work those building blocks up. Usopp's, however, is a vague goal. You could say he's a brave warrior now, you know, like now that he's standing up and fighting for the Tontadas, you could say like at this point he's a brave warrior. But then next arc when he's scared, he's not a brave warrior anymore. So is he a brave warrior or not? You know, it's a shifting goalpost that he has to constantly go for. And I think that's part of the reason Oda might be re-dipping in that thing is because he needs to get Usopp to that place eventually. And so he needs to keep developing that skill. So he has to, I guess, keep finding new ways for Usopp to be scared of something. And that's hard to do without dipping back into the same, you know, source tub over and over and over again. It's the worst metaphor I've ever given. Yeah, so all this to say, like, this is a good episode and I liked it. I can see, and I just brought that up because like I saw these criticisms. I've seen them a lot over time, and I saw them especially recently, like within the last week or something. I read something where someone said that about Usopp's character, and it wasn't the first time that I'd seen it, but it's fresh on my mind because of that, and it just happened to relate to this episode a lot. And so I just thought I'd give you my opinions on it, which is that it doesn't bother me too much that we're gonna keep going down that path with Usopp. I guess it's just a matter of how fresh are they going to keep it. I don't feel like it's dragged down anything. And I mean, as I said, like the only problem with this episode really was, I mean, it's Dressrosa. The pacing of the episode was just a little slow because it was sort of going over the same thing for the entire episode. But if you condense this to, you know, a third of an episode, then this would be like great, really, really great. And it was still great. It was still good. I liked it. All right, let's move on to the next episode then. This is episode 675 of One Piece. Here we go. Okay. Recap Rubik's. Here we go. Oh wow, that's the end of that. Okay, this episode is gonna be cool. Well, I see the Lucy helmet. So, Lucy versus Diamante, a great match or something. I thought that was Brooke for a second because Usopp's hair looks like Brooke's hair like that. You just gotta shoot something in her mouth. Yeah. Is he actually beaten? He's not dead. Yep. So, is his fruit Logia? Because if so, is Sticky a natural thing, you know? Oh. Like, I thought Sticky might have been Paramecia. But it does kind of, like, form his body, so... Can you see the Colosseum from here, by the way? And maybe you can, like, tell us what's going on there. Mm-hmm. Oh, so is this is Kairos? Yeah, 15-year-old Kairos. He looks kind of cool. He's gonna hug you. Oh, or get hit by you. Oh, is he bowing? No, he Or maybe. Come meet my daughter. Is this back in present day Colosseum? No, it isn't. This is still old Colosseum. Damn. Owned him. The 15-year-old murderer. Good line. Barbarism looks like a lot like a talent here. There's when the precedent was set. Damn. Oh. He's doing it. Holy shit. Didn't he end up winning 200 matches or something like that? Makes sense that people would think that. Fighting all that time and people were like, no, do more. But he chose to stay. Yeah, 200th win. Maybe he won 300 or something? I can't remember. Well, there's his 300, so it's at least that. Maybe it was 400. I'll keep going up in numbers until it proves me wrong. 1,000? No, surely we didn't know about that. And now people are like... people are rooting for him. Because then like they start to see the record and they start to like forget who you were or not know. It's new viewers. He's having like PTSD. he was so full of rage, which is very sad. Oh, the monkey's poor curls. There's no way we're only halfway. Ah, 3,000th win. Damn. So Riku stepped in the ring and still lost. Yeah, isn't it time to get out? Riku was such a good guy. And go father a girl. Oh, and then he's the commander of the army. And everyone loves him. This is Rebecca's mother, right? Yeah, it is. Scarlet, yeah. You can't look into men's minds. This is a great enemies to lovers story. Oh, did he save her? I like how independent she is. Here he is! 3,000 wins, baby. Aww. Damn, man. He just fucked them up. Oh no, you're touching a woman. Aww. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I like that. Well, she's making a bento box for him. And now she's smitten. Cute. Oh, I like those silhouettes. It's nice. And he's like, he doesn't know how to speak to women. All he's known is fighting. Oh. I can't defend her anymore. It's too awkward. It's the other way around. Aww. I'm very attached to this story. I like this a lot. But I like a good romance. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, she needed to live, you know, separated from everyone. Wow, did you not tell Viola what was going on? Because she's fucking crying. Does Viola really think her sister's dead? I guess you risk her talking about it. And then Rebecca's born. Oh, that's really sad. That reminds me of Lady Nagant in My Hero. He didn't want to touch her, like, oh. It's funny and also extremely sad that he genuinely feels that. Oh. And she forgot all of this because he turned into a toy. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh. That was great. I loved that. I really loved that. But I mean, look, you're hitting all my soft spots with that type of story. I mean, I love father-daughter dynamics. I love stories. You know, like I love characters that are like sort of hard on the outside, but then you see the moment where they like break down crying, especially when it's like women doing that. Like I love that. So I mean, that's just hitting a lot of my favorite, you know, story types in one thing. I mean, I said like pretty early in this arc that like we're gonna get a Kiro's backstory at some point, and we did, and I love it. It's great. And it's still got a bit to go because its next episode is probably gonna show, you know, like him turning into a toy, and then watching his wife die, and oh man, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. But yeah, I mean, really, really good episode. I liked it a lot. It's really sad that he like has that feeling that my hands are tainted. Like I don't want to touch anything so innocent because of the things that my hands have done, you know? Like he had that that vision, like that PTSD, that dream of just like looking down at his hands and they're just covered in blood. It reminds me a lot, as I said in the episode, of a scene from My Hero Academia. There's a character named Lady Nagant in My Hero Academia who also had to do a lot of horrible things, and then at some point she like goes to, like, some kids are running up to her with a lot of big smiles on their face, and she goes to shake their hand, and then she like has this frightening vision of like her hands dripping with blood, and then she's like, holy shit, like I'm not the innocent person I used to be, you know. And it's very sad. And I'm making that comparison because I love Lady Nagant. I think that's a great character, and so, you know, Kiros reminded me of that. Is, you know, that's a point for Kiros because I really like him. Yeah, I mean, this backstory has made me like, man, I love Kyros. I love him so much. He's just a great guy. He's very sweet. Like we like got to see where he started and where he's gone to, and it's like we see he was in such a dark place that now that he's sort of like, you know, King Riku has helped him heal from that. He's still got all of that trauma, and he still sees himself as a very broken person. He sees himself as that person that he was, and it's like now at least he's not making it, like he's not punishing himself too much from it, but he's for it, but he's still like just trying to make sure that other people aren't dragged down by that, which is really sad. And then they have the scene where he says like, I wish, you know, everyone just forgot about me, and it's like such a sad thing because now we're about to see when everyone forgets about him. And man, like if I didn't know that it was going to be reversed, I would be like, so it would be hurting in here so much. But it is going to be reversed because Robin has turned into a toy. That like that at the moment that happened, it guaranteed that it's going to be reversed. Because there's no way that there's no more Nico Robin for the rest of the series, you know? And there's no way that they, like, reset their knowledge of Nico Robin. Although, like, I mean, I don't want this, really, but it's also interesting. Like, can you imagine if they did just do a full reset on Robin? Where it's like, yeah, we turn everyone back. Like, we can turn them back into people, but you don't remember who they are. Like, you don't get the memories back. They're gone. But they do turn back into people. If that happened, it would be so crazy having Nico Robin go back to the crew and go like, hey guys, I'm back. And everyone's like, who are you? And then like, she just has to get to know them again. And it would be really, really sad. That would be a genuinely sad, like devastating kind of storyline. And it would be kind of really fucking interesting, I think, but it's like the sort of interesting thing that I don't know if it would be like, I think the pain would be too much. Like it's almost too dark for a series like this for you to just do a full reset on that. But I'm like, now that I've said that, I think that's a really interesting story concept, to just have a character like people's memories of them are erased and they don't get it back, and it's just about forming new memories then, you know. I think some movies have tackled it. Like, I can't remember what movies off the top of my head. But I do think there are movies that have sort of tackled that idea. I think some Marvel movies have. I mean, I know there's Spider-Man Far From Home. Is it Far From Home? There's Homecoming is first. And then... I can't remember. It's kind of difficult to remember. But one of them is Far From Home, and one of them is something else about home. And like I get those two mixed up quite a lot. I know Homecoming is the first one because it's about a prom, like a, you know, it's actually like a homecoming dance or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, I know the latest Spider-Man movie like touches on memory stuff. I mean, it's the main plot of it is memory stuff. And I think that kind of, you know, hits kind of what I'm talking about, but not, I mean, I guess it depends how they go from here when the new Spider-Man comes out. We'll see. But I think there's other ones. I can't quite remember, but anyway, doesn't matter. Point is, I think it's a really interesting story concept to just have the memory be wiped and you just don't get it back. But that's not what they're going to do here. There's no way. Like, I would bet $1 million that they didn't do that in this. They faked her death and they didn't tell Viola. Like, that is fucked. Like, although, hang on, in like the family scenes later, was Viola there? Let me see, because there was like a shot of like several of them there. No, I mean, unless that old lady here is Viola, but I don't think so. So, hang on. No, she's too old. I think. Oh no, hang on. The little girl in the back. Wait, that's her. Okay, no, they did tell her at least eventually. Where's Viola here? Oops. But no, she does end up. Okay, yeah, she does end up finding out. But in the funeral scene, like, she's there crying. Okay, so it's Viola's mother is the, I guess his wife. That's his wife, the old lady. I didn't really, like, that didn't really click for me. But she's crying in that scene, which I imagine, like, maybe what they did is they were like, okay, let's not tell her for the funeral so that we have the daughter like authentically crying. And then after the funeral, they go up to her and go, by the way, she's actually not dead and we're going to go visit her next week. Like, can you imagine as a kid how scarring that would be? It's crazy. Or maybe Viola like found out on her own, you know, like maybe she was in her room and she always just used her power to like look into through the walls and stuff, and at some point she just like looked through the wall and saw them talking to Scarlet outside and went, what the fuck, she's alive, and then confronted them about it, and then they're like, okay, we'll take you to see her. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. It's funny though. Only other thing that I want to talk about is the fruit that Trebo has. Is it a Logia? Because the thing is, I remember with fucking what's his name, Magellan, right? He had the, I forgot what it was, toxic, the poison, venom, whatever it was, fruit. And then I was like, okay, that's a Logia fruit. And then people were like, no, that's not a Logia fruit. It's actually Paramecia. And like the main reason for that is that it didn't turn his body into poison. He secreted poison, right? But the other thing was that like Logia fruits are like natural things. You turn into like something natural, you know, like you turn into fire or you turn into electricity, you know, like something that is natural within the world. And then so like Luffy turns into rubber, which is not like a natural thing, so that's a Paramecia fruit. So all of this to say, fuck, why can't I think of any names right now? Trebo, like, his is these. Wait, did we actually ever hear what his thing was called, or did I just guess that it was a sticky fruit? Maybe we never actually got. Like, I feel like he just says sticky a lot, and so because he says sticky, maybe I just thought that was what his fruit is called. But maybe, I don't think we've actually ever heard it. And if we have, I don't think I wrote it down. So, okay, so maybe there'll be, like, what it actually is something naturally occurring. But I don't know, like, if it is just sticky, the sticky fruit or whatever, or the stick fruit or something, like, is that a natural substance? I know there's sticky things in nature, but it's not like the honey fruit, unless it is, you know. So I guess we'll find out. But yeah, like I'm just curious if it is actually going to be a Logia fruit, because he got like chopped in half. So I feel like if, you know, like if Luffy gets chopped in half, I think he's dead, right? Like I don't think Luffy comes back from that, because Luffy, he can't just like stitch his rubber back together. I mean, maybe he could, but it would, maybe you'd have to do some crazy surgery. Like I feel like it wouldn't just be as simple as like he can just put his two halves back together. But Logia fruits, they can do that. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's move on to the next episode. This is episode 676. Here we go. Never stop it. Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go.
ルフィとその仲間格を崩すためトラメラメラの実をかけたバトルショーを目指す。
Okay, there's the cube complete. Let's see if I can do the second cube.
何触れない。私は見てる。
Okay, I didn't finish the second cube, but I got, you know, that far. This episode's gonna be called, I don't know. I can't think of anything. A true tragedy. Kairos becomes a toy.
私は王宮へ行く。
Oh.
スカーレット、もしここまで危険が及んだら赤い花畑で私を待て。
Maybe he should have just stayed with his family. Oh. Oh. The voice actress with those noises that hurt my heart. Oh, oh God. Look how calm Monet is. She knows they've already won. No! So is she taking him to Sugar? And then Violet's gonna forget about him anyway, so... Where's Sugar? There she is. Oh my gosh! Do you need to do all this? I mean, if you just walked up to him, I don't know if he'd like attack you since you look like a child, Sugar. Strong chains. Ah, Sea Prism Stone chain specifically. Oh my gosh. No, he doesn't have TV where he lives. But they're still strong chains. Oh God. Oh my God, that's why he's the one-legged soldier. Holy shit. He did that. Oh my God, he did that in an instant. So they didn't even want to turn him into a toy. It just happened because he was very dangerous. Oh my God. And he did that before she was able to make a contract on him. Jesus. Man, it's gonna hurt so much. Jesus, man. Oh, it's so sad. Oh. Clever. Just a drop of rain becoming his tears because he can't actually cry. Oh. Wait, it was Diamante who did it? God. I love Scarlet. Oh. Yeah, she didn't know you were coming. Man, so because she didn't know he was coming, she was like going back to doing things independently, and that's what got her killed. She wasn't relying on his help anymore. Jesus, man. Oh. Yeah, it really is. Just an absolute nightmare of a situation. I can't even feel your warmth. Oh God, that's sad. What a good line. Man, I can't wait till everyone gets their memories back and they remember him. Oh my God. We're never gonna get Scarlet back, but at least we can get that back. I hope he doesn't die. Oh my God, if Kairos dies.
ウソランドたちは間に合わんか。全員海賊だったんだな。
問題あるか？
札付きだ。勝ったか。バージェスの攻撃がとどめだ。これじゃ。
Oh my god, just destroying the arena. Jesus. Oh, cool.
何度でも教えてやるぞレベッカ。お前の母スカーレットを作るし俺なんだよ。
Oh god.
攻撃でのバリアの立場は。
Now that he says that, I can't remember if we actually saw him say that before. And then they cut away and I forgot. Shit, man. Oh my god, Frankie. Just absolutely surrounded by some really strong people. It's all relying on Usopp. It's really cool how like the whole plan hinges on this Usopp battle. And Usopp is really outmatched here. What a great special attack name. No. Oh, I forgot Cavendish was a toy. Oh my god. Don't turn him into a toy. Don't. Oh god. Come on, Usopp. I need you to be awesome. Oh no. She's gonna make him eat it. Oh god. Oh! Come on, Usopp. Spit it back in her face. Oh, he swallowed it. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. She just got scared by it. Oh, my God. Jesus, he might have as well have eaten the flare fruit. Oh, my God. Is she gonna get knocked out because he scared her? Oh my god! That was... Oh my god. So did the plan work just because... Because she didn't know what the grape was. She thought it was poison. So she thought, I'm just gonna put this in and he's gonna slowly die or convulse on the ground or some shit. She didn't know it was just really, really fucking hot sauce. So, like, she didn't expect him to have a visceral screaming reaction to it. And she's... Yeah, that's, like, very funny that, like... Yeah, it seems like that's gonna be what makes the plan work is, like, you know, her own... Because she could have just turned him into a toy and been done with it. I mean, like, she even touched him. Like, she even hit him over the chin with her hand or whatever. So it's like she had the means and the opportunity and everything, but she just wanted to instead, like, you know, show him his own hubris, like make him suffer with the thing that he set up to kill her with or whatever, right? Not realizing that, you know, it wasn't something that would kill her. Like, that's the thing. I think they're kind of ruthless enough that they assume that, you know, other people are going to deal with them ruthlessly as well. So they think the whole plan is to kill Sugar. But the plan isn't to kill Sugar. The plan's just to get her knocked out to undo her power. And that's really it. So yeah, like, Sugar's got a very strong power. Really, really powerful. But honestly, like, if the only thing to make all of it be undone is to knock her out, like... That's, you know, that's a pretty big weakness, I would say. Cause, like, yeah, like that, I feel like that's, you know, something that, because, like, she's been spending years and years building up these armies of soldiers and stuff, and it's all theoretically gonna be undone because she got scared once, you know? So, like, yeah, she's got, like, you know, I think I remember someone saying that, you know, when they explained her powers, people in the community were like, yeah, this is one of the most powerful powers in One Piece. This is an incredibly powerful power. And yes, it is amazingly powerful. But, I mean, that's a pretty severe weakness, I would say. Like, to just have to be knocked out. Because that means someone could just put sleeping... actually, I don't know. Because, like, theoretically, sleeping doesn't trigger it. I've talked about this before. But, like, her choosing to sleep doesn't trigger it. But being knocked out does. So, it's like... Well, I guess when you choose to sleep, maybe your brain... Like, you know your brain is consciously trying to keep up the power. But when you're knocked out, it's like your brain's sort of, like, shutting down involuntarily. So, I mean, I guess, are sleeping pills, like, on the line there? Because, like, yeah, it's still you sleeping, like the other thing. But at the same time, you're not, like, voluntarily sleeping. Like, I think, if I was thinking about it, I would think part of it is that, like, when you're going to sleep, you sort of know, okay, I'm going to keep up this power while I'm going to sleep. And it's like, you know, your brain is doing, like, checks and making sure that, like, it slowly transitions into sleep while keeping up the functions it needs, you know? But if you use sleeping pills, then it's like suddenly you'll be like, oh my god, what's going on? And then you're passed out. Then, you know, then you're not really voluntarily asleep. Maybe that would count. If that counts, it's a really severe weakness, because yeah, you could use anything that really makes you sleep. But if it has to be like sort of knocked out, then that makes it a bit harder. But still, I mean, not incredibly difficult to do. And then, like, because then, like, if that happens, all of the years and years worth of work is gone, and she has to start all over again, which would take a long time. And then you've turned so many people against you in that time. So, so it's interesting. I like the ideas behind it. It's fun. But I did really like how we're seeing all of these plans, like, play out. But then now we're at this point where it's like, if Usopp's part of the plan doesn't work out, everyone is screwed. Like, it really came down to, like, Usopp needs to win right now. Because, like, the, Luffy's group, like, they can't really progress without Soldier turning back properly, and Frankie's completely surrounded and he's got no one really on his side, and there's like a lot of strong people there, and like there's just so much shit that's going on. But that makes me think, in this next episode, oh my gosh, and I'm glad that we're watching one more episode in this video, because I really want to see what happens next. Is next episode the one where everyone turns back? And if that's the case, like, I'm really excited to see that. But also, I mean, the sad thing, well, not sad, but I guess the maybe possible missed opportunity here is they didn't really dwell too much on the Robin turning into a toy thing. Whereas, like, they basically turned her into a toy kind of just to, well, for two reasons, I would say. One, to, like, take her out of the battle. That's the main reason they did. And the second reason, I would say, would be to justify Usopp running away. I don't think Usopp would have run away in the episode 2 episodes ago if Robin was still there. Like, if he knew Robin was there. But he didn't know who she was anymore, so he was running because, like, he's not leaving any crew members behind. He's just leaving this tribe behind, you know? So, if Robin wasn't turned into a toy, I don't think he would have run. But yeah, I like, the only, you know, possible missed opportunity, if we all do turn back now, is they could have played with the idea of, like, a Straw Hat getting forgotten and, like, the consequences of that more. But I don't think they need to, because honestly, they showed it all with Kiros's backstory. By the way, I'm going to switch back between Kiros and Kairos, because for me, the name looks like it's pronounced Kairos, and Kairos kind of sounds more natural for the way that it's written, but the characters call him Kiros, so I'm going to try to do that. But at the same time, you know, the Japanese pronunciation of a name isn't necessarily the pronunciation of a name that we use in English. Sometimes people will, like, correct me on stuff, but it's like, clearly the name is supposed to be pronounced like this in English and this in Japanese, because Japanese, they pronounce stuff kind of differently. And that's fine, but I'm speaking English, so I'm using the English pronunciations. I don't know what it is with Kiros. I can sort of see it being pronounced Kiros, so I'm probably gonna be switching back and forth. And I don't want to hear any complaints. But like, for example, we don't call him Usolando, we call him Usoland, right? Because the way Japanese works is there's no like solid D ending to words, right? You have to use do instead of d, because they don't have a d. They have do, they have da, and do, but they don't have d. So yeah, there's a bunch of examples of that, but they pronounce things differently. But I've heard them say Kiros so much that like, and it sounds like that also could be how it's pronounced. So I'll try to pronounce it Kiros when I remember. But yeah, since they already did the whole like removing of the memories and we saw how horrible that is through Kiros's backstory, I guess they don't need to do it with the Straw Hats. Like then maybe you're just going over the same themes that you've already gone over, so it's fine. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to the last episode that I was doing in this video. Oh, and Kiros cut off his leg. That was fucking badass. I love that. All right. So yeah, let's move on to the last episode we're doing in this video. This is episode 677. Here we go. Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go. Alright, that's a cube complete. Okay, this episode is going to be called Rejoice! The Healing of the Toys. Memories Return. It's a bit of a weird title. Okay. Oh my god. Here we go. There's that shot again. They had to throw it in there real quick. Oh my god, what a build up. You're gonna have some people who are gonna want to fight. Here we go. Yes, come on, Robin. Oh my god, transformation sequences. Yeah, baby. Oh my god. It had to like do bouncy sound effects for her ass and tits. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Oh my god, these are some strong fighters we gonna have. Ah, there's even a marine there. Oh, that's the giant. Yeah, baby. Yep, you're remembering your friends now. It's too late. What about your arm? Oh, you got it on just in time. She's passed out. Is he gonna frown? Oh, he's realized. He's pissed. For a decade. Oh my gosh. And people are remembering each other. I wonder how many memories like flood back in. Oh my god, one of them was a giant ape. She wasn't a lady. Yeah, this makes sense. It requires one girl to be knocked out for your whole operation to fall apart. Oh my god. I feel like Doflamingo has a lot of plans that rely on one person. Like, he did the same thing with Violet, where a lot of his plan relied on Violet not betraying him. It's kind of interesting. We're seeing kind of how short-sighted he is because he gets so cocky. Aww. Maybe you should stab Sugar while she's down, just in case. Not that I want that to happen. This was her father, right? And her husband. Yeah. Oh. Oh. This is like the first reunion we like properly get. That is good because they did set up this reunion, even though we don't really know these characters too well. Oh. Oh. Why are we cutting to Zoro? Well, Usopp's dead, but you know what? He had a good run. 670 episodes. Oh. People are getting their fucking karma. All these spineless motherfuckers using slaves. Aww. Oh, wait, I have a husband. Yeah! That's very funny. I thought that was a reunion we were seeing there, but... That would be very complicated if you started dating someone because you forgot about your partner. And then you are now, like, you know, 5 years into dating them or whatever. Yeah, now there's a fucking revolution. It's really fucked, man. What does opening your eyes do? I guess it depends how blind he is. Maybe it lets some of that sunlight in. Because sometimes blind people can let like a little bit of sun in. Like they can see a tiny bit. Everything is falling apart on you. Lord, this must be satisfying to see firsthand, right? See his anger about it firsthand. Oh. Yes, Kyros! Oh, Rebecca's remembering. And Rebecca's gonna remember those memories that she thought she just had of her mum. Kyros is back. I forgot he still didn't have one of his legs. Oh my god! He's jumping in there. No sugar to save you this time, baby. Oh! She remembers now. It's so good. It's so hype. What a great character. Oh man. Yeah, get him! Oh, Doflamingo's. Look at him. Oh my god, he's going right after Doflamingo. Don't kill Kyros. Oh my god. Oh my god! I imagine he can like stick his head back on with a string. But whoa! This reminds me of Wiper taking down Eneru. Holy shit! What a great episode that just flew by. That was so good. I mean, yeah, that's very reminiscent of the Wiper situation. Because like in that you have like this cool warrior dude who you know, who you really like and who's fighting for good reasons, who like does surprisingly amazing against the seemingly unstoppable leader, and kills him essentially. That's really cool. Except I would say like that Wiper versus Eneru moment is one of my favorite moments. That's like, was that my favorite moment in all of Skypiea? It might have been. It was up there with some of my favorite moments in all of Skypiea. I really, really loved it. It even made my top 5 list of like the moments from that whole 100 group of episodes. So it was, I think it made it anyway. Either that or it made honorable mentions, but it was very high up there. I really, really loved that moment. And this to me is like, it's almost like Oda's doing it again, but he's doing it even better here for me. Because it's like, I know Doflamingo is not going to be dead. Like, there's no way. There's no way that Kyros actually kills him here. So I imagine, you know, it's like his head's held on by string, or like this is a fake Doflamingo or something. I don't know. But I do really like that he did this, and that it shows like how fucking badass he is, where he doesn't hesitate. He goes and he cuts off the man's head immediately. And the reason I say it's even better than the Wiper one is because I feel like we have an even stronger attachment to Kyros. And also I feel like Doflamingo is a stronger villain than Eneru. Not in terms of power level, in terms of stronger villain as in we like his motivations and his design and his voice and all of that. Like, I think they're all a little better than Eneru. And like the setup of, you know, of him being able to do that is like stronger, and like all of it's really, really amazing. So I'm just blown away by how great that was. That episode was like exactly the sort of thing that I wanted, where we got to go around the whole city and see people getting reunited with their families and remembering them, and having these emotional reunions. And it's funny that one of the most emotional ones for me was like the guy who was turned into like the Slinky Dog thing, because like I think they showed him very early in like us finding out that toys are humans. I think he was like one of the first ones, if not the first one they showed, where it's like, look, he just wants to be with his family, so he's gonna like, you know, be their dog or whatever. But it's like really depressing seeing his wife and child be like, oh yeah, no, we don't have, like, you know, I don't have a husband, I don't have a dad. And so like that was really sad. But then seeing like her be like, whoa, why is this dog turning into a man? Oh my god, I remember everything. Like that moment is something that I really wanted to see, and I'm really glad that we did see it. That was so good. And I mean I think it was also done really well, just the like everyone being first of all shocked, like what the fuck's going on, and then like emotional, like oh my god, everyone's back, like I can't believe I forgot. Oh, this is so great that you're back now. And then it turns to anger as like, hang on, Doflamingo is a fucking monster for all this shit that he did, you know? I really love seeing that process go through so many people's heads, and now so many people are like stepping up against them. I'm just like clicking through screenshots of the episode. But yeah, I mean that was so good to watch. And I like seeing Fujitora be like, I think this city is a lot darker than we thought it was. Like I think this whole situation is actually severely fucked up, and we might have to do something about it. Which that's really exciting as well. But I mean, yeah, the Kyros thing, the Kyros build up is so good. And I love that he's like singing the song. He's singing the soldier song as he's transforming back. and we see like both King Riku and Rebecca have like these realizations. Like Rebecca's not even seeing this happen. Like he's not seeing Kiros. I mean, she's not seeing Kiros. She's still in the fucking Colosseum. But for her, she is suddenly like all of this stuff is happening, and then she's looking around, and then she's like, oh my god, I'm having memories flood in, and she's realizing that this person who she's been treating like her dad this whole time is her dad. and like, you know, that he's still around, he's still alive, and she forgot him, and like all of that's flooding into her head at once. That's just, and like, you know, I feel like a lot of them feel incredibly guilty. Like this is a big part of why they would be so angry, is because a lot of them feel incredibly guilty that their memories were taken from them, and they basically made their family members, their loved ones, suffer like all of this time by saying like, I don't know who you are, you know. And that like the guilt would be immense. Like Rebecca already feels guilt with Soldier because she said like, oh, you're just a one-legged toy or whatever, and like she already feels guilt for that, just because it's a horrible thing to say to anyone, really. Like even if they had no relation to each other, it's still horrible because he still did like bring her up and you know, train her all this time and protect her. But then now she's realizing that not only that, but he also had to suffer through being forgotten by her, and she's even like, you know, being so unfamiliar with him. Like it would just be so much. It would be such a hard thing for that, like that guilt would overwhelm me. I think I would feel so horrible about it. And I mean, yeah, I also like that we just see like Viola's reaction to it. Like for some reason that is one of the best characters for us to like come back to, just because she has like a connection to Kiros, but it's not like you're not like wasting the reunion moment, because like it's really nice seeing Kiros and Violet, you know, that they realize, or that she realizes it's him, and seeing that moment. But it's not so essential that it's like we need them to stop the battle and talk to one another and hug and do all of that. Like they have like just enough of a separation that like they don't need that moment right here. So then Kiros can just jump in and cut off Doflamingo's head, you know? But if Rebecca was the one here next to Luffy instead, I feel like they would need to talk. We would need like a moment between them. But Rebecca's on the other side of the city, so that doesn't matter, you know? So yeah, it feels like the perfect person to be like present, because she knows all of the information, she knows everything that goes into it, and she's really emotionally invested in it, but we don't need to like pause the action for it. Oh man, it's so good. That was just like an incredible episode. I also love in this episode, and I mean maybe some people disagree with me here, but like I think it's a fun flaw for Doflamingo that like he really does make his plans rely on a person. Like a lot of his plans do rely on, well, this person's gonna do what they're gonna do, you know? Which funnily enough is like a decent quality to have, because I think he genuinely does trust his people, like his like family and stuff. And this has been something that I've been learning throughout like Punk Hazard and Dressrosa, is like finding out that Doflamingo, like he's not like a lot of the other One Piece villains that we've seen, where it's like he just throws his teammates to the side and doesn't give a shit about them. He actually seemingly does care about them, and like does treat them with respect, and like trust in them and trust in their abilities, which I really, really enjoy that. I love when that is the case with villains, because it makes the villains more interesting and more in depth, and also it gives the villains a flaw like this, where it's like, yeah, his plan, his whole house of cards collapses if Sugar passes out, but he had confidence in Sugar's ability that she wouldn't, and had probably had confidence in someone like Treble, where it's like, well, you're gonna be with her, so it's fine. Like if there's any danger, you can take it out and it'll be all right. Like he has that much faith. He genuinely had faith that Violet wouldn't turn against him, even though she wasn't on his side. But I guess he thought, like, over time, you know, maybe either he's endeared, like, himself to her, or she's, like, realized, you know, this is the way it has to be, or, like, or she's still, like, scared enough of what he would do, so, like, whatever. But it's like he relied on, like, dealing with the Straw Hats through Violet, and that didn't work. Relying on Sugar, that didn't work, you know? And so I feel like it's fun watching these plans really fall apart on him because, funnily enough, of his trust in his crew, of the people he cares about, in a way. Yeah, it's great. It's really good. And now his head's chopped off. I can't wait for the next episode, but we're going to wait until the end of the week to watch it. So thank you for watching. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, early access, and exclusive videos. You can get the next 20 or so episodes on there right now. And you can go to my YouTube membership down below to get the next week of early access on edited videos as well. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.